Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 of the Realm of the Chaos Dwarves, where I thought we would take a moment here and just observe some of the environmental beauty of our surroundings. We have here the Firemouth, this supposedly unholy offspring of the Great Maw and the Sun, which lights the skies above the Ogre Kingdoms a fiery red, is itself worshipped as a god by those who have witnessed its titanic eruptions. Same, honestly. So, we're in hell. We went from one kind of Badlands to a different kind of Badlands, and I know I said we were going to, pursue a different situation than we were in the last campaign. Listen, we're totally going to. Once we have this relic, we are strongly influenced to head west. Out of curiosity, what does this do? Because we're just gonna kind of happen past it. All right, it's a melee weapon with a big moving explosion ability. It seems fine. We'll give it to somebody. All right. Anyway, let's figure out this whole situation. We need to get through an awful lot of ogre territory, and I would like to do it without pissing off the Gold Tooth too terribly much. They're at -5 on military access, which sadly, overcoming 5 points of diplomatic opinion is often very expensive. Is that your number of settlements? You have 18 settlements? Is that okay? Gosh, you know who I don't want to go to war with? Greece's Gold Tooth. So let's try to figure out it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we approached this area from up here. Thanks to underway access, you know, we can do an underway hop down to there and then make the run. So let's send Drazos north. We're going to keep knocking out Orcish settlements for the moment while we try to generate enough favor to not cause problems with Greece. A lot of this stuff should be pretty easy for us to take down. I don't know where what's his name went, Grimgor himself. But he sure is going to wish he was here. What are the odds that we have enough labor to keep another region of outposts going? I think pretty low. But if we don't have outposts, there's no sense in having factories. Yeah, I guess just... We'll figure it out. For the moment, money pit, please. As our territory continues to grow, we are pushed more and more toward having additional settlements because, frankly, having additional armies because, frankly, we already don't have enough bodies to defend the land we have. If somebody should take serious anger at any of our movements, how would we, with these two armies, defend any of the stuff down here if somebody declared on us? I'm so worried that it's going to turn out that Grimgor's just in ambush stance right there. But I certainly don't want to waste any time. I guess, okay. Let's just march on Blackfang and we'll see what happens. Blackfang itself is really undefended. Should be easy enough to just kind of march through here. So this is in the same region as Firemouth, which we made a factory. Let's make this a factory too. We'll try to minimize the number of regions that we have to send labor to. I think it helps a lot to split them up that way. I do think we want to get our tower roads, especially out here in the mountains. We want to get our tower roads set up. Okay. I think we're just going to build this castle in the same way we built the last one. Which is to say, Hellforged bolts eventually. Obviously, increased mobility is very important. But it's working out really well so far. Also, did I remember to spend... Okay, we didn't actually get any level ups in the last one. Our caravan masters, on the other hand, so we must have just finished a route. I mean, I have like no consistency on these caravan upgrades. We're just kind of like taking whatever presents itself. All right, 3 turns until Skaldorish is back. I guess we'll wait. Then again, actually, we have 2 turns until this caravan completes its journey. 3 turns on this one, even though it's just starting because we ran it short. So, well, I don't have any gold. I couldn't hire a new caravan master if I wanted to. That makes that pretty straightforward. Yeah, if Grimgor doesn't show up sometime in the very near future, I am afraid he is simply going to be out of territory. And what is this? This is... Done. Is that a gold-tooth banner? Huh. They're redder than I remember them being. Anyway. So 12 trending toward 40. We just gotta hope that as that number continues to increase, the cost, his likelihood to let us have that military access also increases. We could do some minor upgrading, and I suppose it makes sense to do so. So I need to right click. I think we'll take that over doing, because obviously, like, it might be wise to build garrison buildings. I think we're good. We're all right. We did finish the Mountains of Morn here. Let's just take the control bonus. Well, this is a refinery area. Yeah, you know what? Higher quotas. We have the bonus control building. I think we should be okay. I wonder what happened. So Grimgor's army could very easily have just used the underway to travel west away from that territory. Presumably he would only have done that if there was a threat to the west. But, you know, the armies of the Warhost of Jar or something could have been in a threatening place, although we certainly see an awful lot of them down here. But if he did run out to the west to defend, or, or he could have been fighting Nurgle or something, whatever. Yeah, the bar is completely green. This is what I was about to say. If he did run west to defend, there's a chance he just got himself killed. And it looks like that is, in fact, what happened. We have encountered some Hobgoblin tributes. You know what? This army is nowhere near full. And it could use a little bit more infantry. Yeah. Finished our continuous bombardment, which rules. That's a very, very good tech now. We have an awful lot of Iron Demons. Do we want to just grab Weapons of War? Range up, speed up. Infernal Engineer for high-level Iron Demon and Artillery units. Giving them... So wait, the thing itself just gets missile resistance. And it gives reload skill to allies nearby, not itself. But if you have like a pair of them, they'll grant the bonus to each other. That seems very good. Okay, so it seems like there is, in fact, nothing to fear from Grimgor. Let's take advantage of that. We'll just underway and pop ourselves over to the Ares. Sisythrus Damonzork has then basically nothing to do. And unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, individual characters don't have access to the underway, so awful lot of gold tooths around here all of a sudden. We're good though, right? We're cool. I might have Drezoth just sit for another turn. One of the Iron Demons in the army took considerable damage. I might want to just leave it. 18 trending toward 37. Okay, and he's positive on a trade agreement, which means military access will probably be affordable. A non-aggression pact would be great too, but like, I think we wanna argue this the moment we can argue it. Yeah, sure, I'll pay you 1,600 gold. That's fine.
Done deal.
Okay, we cannot afford to balance off another 1.1 points of treaty, but his opinion's going to keep rising. So, all right, unit capacity up for the Fireborn because that seat at the Tower of Jar is great. And now I'm definitely thinking we got to move on before he changes his mind. As long as we stay in friendly territory, we'll get some healing. Where's the line? Okay. The line at the end of my territory is somewhat hidden by the giant battle marker here. You know what? We will just stay put for one more turn, I think, then. Or is this all mine up here? Okay, I see the very faint light green line on the white ground. You know, we'll just stay put for a turn, and then we'll take the run. I trust Baruch to be able to handle the rest of this problem. So what's this region? This and Gorger Rock. Okay. The ice caverns of Emirdrak, I think we will probably just burn down and let sit empty. Somebody else can come and get those. I don't want to try to maintain that. In fact, we could just give it to the Goldtooth so that we can try to use the ogres as a buffer against the things to the west. That might actually be the right play. And then I suppose if we're going to construct any kind of forward recruitment building in Karak-Azorn, it makes sense for it to be the Chaos Dwarf building. But like, I don't know that we're going to do any recruitment up here. We are going to have so much potential upgrading. I guess do this and accept new labor for a little while. Yeah, we're going to have a lot to juggle here. A lot of places to potentially put out resources. But mostly we want to make sure, first of all, that our core is built up, that we're accomplishing this stuff. So these are both gold costs. And Karum is like pretty important, I think. And then at this point, raw materials, like mostly the value of them is forging them into armaments. We'll put some proper reinforcement or proper recruitment structures in Karak Vrag, and that can serve as our like gate to the west. Yeah, all right. So I'm not going to stress too much about having raw materials left over at the end of the turn or whatever. They're just going to get turned into stuff. Which I guess means we can upgrade Black Fang, because Black Fang can then produce its improve its gunsmithing. Yeah, all right, that makes sense. We want our garrisoned lord not to have moved. Okay. Really? Nurgle wants to pay me for military access. I think we got to take this. Making treaties with Nurgle is potentially going to strain some of our alliances, but we know that there's stuff over here that we need. This is an unexpected gift. We'll take this and we can break it later. I would have been more leery of doing that if we had not yet made the deal with Croesus. Because I'm sure he's got feelings about it. And for the moment, we don't have any major threats, or we're just kind of marching and watching. Something tells me this is not a long-term position. I am definitely a little worried that as we get closer and closer to powering our drill, the other Chaos Dwarf factions are probably going to turn on us. Only one of us can win, right? For the moment, it behooves us to play nice. But that's only going to last so long. Alright, even more raw materials.
Minu Ardugal starts undrimgi.
Alright, we'll try to travel through here as quickly as possible. Yep, you can see that treaties with the Poxmakers of Nurgle is in fact giving us a minus. Oh, what did we pull in? Kolani Growlish found this mirror shield, spell resistance, and 400 barrier. Wow. Gained a couple of chaos giants. Who wants the mirror shield? So that's an armor slot item? Drazoth is actually not wearing armor. That's the first armor slot item we've ever seen. I reckon we should take it? Yeah. Drazoth's enough of a fighter.
Adebrun strung. Asumor angas lock. Abdanuan.
Alright, let's knock out the eagle ears real fast. There's gonna be a lot of completely trivial victories here. We're making this an outpost region. Ooh, a scroll of blast. One great big fiery explosion per battle. Seems pretty solid. What is the exotic animal stuff give us here? So, all right. I mean, trade goods obviously very important. I'm less enthused about the bonus to Wolf Rider units, which it's hard for me to imagine wanting to build them. Do we want to build this while we're trying to? You know what? I think I'm going to hold off. Let's get that big landmark building established in the Sentinels, and probably also the marble, and then we can do more gold upgrading buildings. All right, we're still pushing for Arcane Conduit here. We will stay focused. Gosh, Chaos Dwarves sure do love to shout things. They're as bad as the Dark Elves. Alright, I think that's mostly got us. We definitely need to assign a new convoy at this point. Well, next turn we have Skaldorish available again. And then Scalf will come back, and the next turn Domitashbaz will leave. So, yeah, I do want to pull another convoy then. Metallic resistance seems very good. Range and missile strength up for all missile units is solid, and then we start with an extra unit of fire glaives. You know what? Ogafa, welcome aboard. Where can we exchange, like, at this point, like, raw materials, and I guess armaments are not unreasonable. Well, we don't ever put out raw materials, right? I don't actually want to spend a bunch of gold, but I guess I'd be willing to trade some raw materials for, I don't know, some labor, I guess. Go out to Trollfjord and claim some bodies.
Ital ambasindra una erpesto.
Our convoy overseers are coming in at level 8 now.
He's on Wolfram.
Okay, we are very, very good at running convoys. So Carrick Vrag is the kind of place where we would want to construct... Oh, well, I mean, the next thing we want to construct is a diamond mine, probably. A gem refinery. Yeah, that's 750 income by itself. Okay. We'll be able to do that soon. I should have spent all of our raw materials on that, but you know, there's a lot going on. We got a lot of stuff to keep track of here. And maintaining the slightly more complicated economy of this of this faction definitely is like a little bit. I want to just kind of disregard it. There's a part of me that's like, you know, we could spend time on that, or we could spend time killing people. A little worried about all these agents of the Ogre Kingdoms running around in my territory. Don't know what they're up to. I guess we're sort of blocking them off from the world in one direction, although, you know, they probably have problems to the north. All right, Grimgor is starting to rebuild an army. I don't think we're going to be able to stop them from recruiting this turn. Okay, we were issued a mission to capture Gorgirak, which is the thing we were absolutely already going to do anyway, so that rules. Let's remember to build the gem mine before I forget. Yeah, alright, let's just put some pressure on them. I mean, how many units can they recruit in one turn, right? We have to hope the number's not high. Okay, so this we're mostly running in a straight line through open territory. It's probably going to be faster. Never mind. It is not at all faster to just go overland.
Nay.
You get a pretty hefty movement penalty when you are moving through mountain pass type terrain. Alright, we may as well finish off hidden stores here. And then that's left us an open convoy slot, and we do in fact have Skaldorish ready to get out there and do a thing. And at this point, I don't want to spend any gold. So at this point, I think we're doing armaments for labor again. Or we could do armaments for a bunch of gold. You know, honestly, I know this is not how we have been doing things. It feels a little silly to spend 500 armaments on what is not that much more than a single turn of gold, though. I guess you could head up to the Volary and, yeah, just pull some labor from there. Tried to assassinate me. We'll just try to assassinate him right back. I have no idea why the camera came over here for it. Alright, we have also humiliatingly failed to do the thing. From the Titan's Notch. The convoys return from Titan's Notch, bringing before you an item of particular splendor. It's valuable, if your overseer is to be believed. So, Bones of the Maw. Armor and fire breath. It's a talisman. Okay, that seems alright. What I'm more excited about is the unit of Ogre Pistol Man-Eaters. Keep in mind, an Ogre Pistol is as large as the bodies of units of most other races. So that's definitely going to be helpful in running future convoys. I feel like our convoys are getting pretty strong at this point. Oh, I spent just enough money ordering the assassination that we don't have the 6,000 anymore. Shit. Well, don't I feel like a fool? I was not paying attention to that. It's fine. I guess we'll build it next turn. We can't really afford to do... Yeah. All right. It's fine. It's fine. So we're still very slowly burning down our labor. We have a button here somewhere that shows us the whole labor economy, don't we? Where is that? Because it's this one. All right. So We're under workload. We can probably turn off new labor to the Mountains of Morn. We're under workload in Gash Kadrak, and we'll probably always need more bodies for Noblar Country because we have so many ways of spending them in Noblar Country. But yeah, we'll leave it like that for right now. Oh, you can actually shift labor around. I didn't realize, yeah, these buttons allow you to just bounce labor from place to place. It's fine. We have lots of incoming. We just want to make sure it gets distributed sensibly. It's probably going to be another full turn of walking before we can access that quest battle. We will need to build up Carrick Vrag. We're going to have to get that leveled up so that we can put some defensive structures in. It is unfortunate that against another Chaos Dwarf force, we basically can't use choke point defense or anything like that because they also have access to the underway. But against the things that might battle us from the west, we can, just having a castle in a mountain pass is very significant. Dusty Eye Gouger, you leave my caravans alone. Lillian has encountered some elves, some high elves. Unfortunate wretches of many races toil amid the poisoned air and burning ash of the Darklands. Yet, while out on assignment, even our convoy knows not to pass up the opportunity to attain more of the right tools for the job. I do not love this army up against this is an elf army of quite elite elven units. They have their own ranged units who are kind of terrifying. They have a Frostheart Phoenix and a Sun Dragon. No, we ignore them. That would be a crazy fight to engage in. That is going to end in tears, I will tell you what. And you know what? I'm going to rush construction of this. And we're going to turn exception new labor back on. I think that's going to be so much extra money per turn at this point that we should be able to yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this again. We should be able to more or less pay it off. It's like a little weird to consider anything you do with gold as paying off a debt that was accrued in labor, but you know what I mean. I might have our Castellan run over here and, well, I guess, actually, Castellans don't have any ability to damage an enemy force, do they? We can wound characters out, but we can't just, like, damage military units. So never mind, you have nothing to do here except rid me of this lousy eye gouger, which you cannot even do, apparently. Alright, let's shut this down. So they had managed to recruit mostly just goblins. I'm assuming what's happening here is he's trying to recruit upper tier units, but it's taking too long. Let's just crush them before they can recover. And yep, outpost region. So at this point, we're still not really pulling that much from this region every turn. We will get to the point soon enough where we will have this under control. I guess Carrick Vrag as like the gateway to the west is a little awkward because Mount Crag and Gorger Rock can both be approached without having to get past it. That kind of sucks. This area is difficult to defend. I guess that's a good reason we might want to hold the ice caverns ourselves rather than giving them over to the ogres. It's because that actually does give us some control, but whatever, it's fine. we're just going to ignore it. So what upgrades do we want to push next? I mean, honestly, this is probably the next thing we want to do with raw materials. It is going to take a couple of turns to get there. We're making a lot of money now, but I still don't want to spend any more. I think we're going to hold off on any building here. I want to make sure we can build our marble building. We still have plenty of things to do. Okay, this is the Castellan and that army. I mean, we know we want all of this stuff. Okay, we're going to hold off building so I don't accidentally put myself in a weird position. We did finish off this region. I think we're just going to go control up and plagues down here. We're not going to be doing a lot of recruiting here anytime soon. Yeah. Of the meager options, I think that one makes the most sense. And we are finally in position to go after that second major, our first major relic, but the second relic for our drill. This is the Great Maw. Say hi, everybody. It's like a sarlacc, I guess. It's pretty sarlaccy. We have a lot of enemy. We have a lot of quote-unquote friendly units running around in our territory, just kind of accomplishing nothing. Making me a little bit nervous, if I'm honest. And now that we've broken Grimgor's recruiting, I think he only has 1 or 2 settlements left. He probably doesn't have much in the way of recruitment buildings. So at this point, as far as rescuing himself goes, basically all he can do is like come at us with stacks of goblins. I'm not terribly concerned. Oh right, the tower. So we're saving up toward these 300 cost seats. Probably just to get like the Doom of Hashut or something. High Commissioner, I think we were going for. And honestly, I would not hate +3 control in all provinces. So that would be good to unlock. I do think these are kind of crummy, which is a shame because this bonus also would be nice. But whatever. Alright, kids, let's do the thing. We finished upgrading our weapons of war. I mean, I guess we take on Total War. I didn't even know the Hellcraft had a maximum. But let's go ahead and disable it. Or improve it at least. And I guess this is a moment where we want to check in on our Hellforge and see what's what. Does it list anywhere an obvious maximum? Doesn't seem like it. Because, like, it would be cool to take on some more upgrades, although this one's not terribly exciting. What I would like is, like, extra powder for these. How much improvement would we have to do to get to that? We just have to bump up our capacity by 1. We actually do have the ability to build hell cannons, and they're very powerful. Let's maybe bump up our total number of hell cannons. And then now that we've done that, we can take extra powder bags here. We could also give them barriers. Do I want to do that? Is it worth it? Are we likely enough to get into trouble? The Iron Demons have to be pretty close. It might even give us the ability to... Yeah, it might even give us the ability to use the Iron Demons for charging a little bit more. Because they do have that sort of like chariot style contact damage and stuff. I'm gonna not do this. because it is an extra 60 armaments per turn to keep it live. But let's go ahead and apply extra power here.
Betasta Grungron.
Extra powder. I think that's a reasonable use of armaments. Give these things a little bit more of a boost. And let's step in. So we're up against just an unaligned Ogre Kingdom's force. This is not exactly terrifying. The only thing I'm really worried about is these iron blasters. These things are giant cannons mounted on the back of like mammoth type monsters. And as you can see, 380 range, 879 missile strength. They do pose a pretty serious threat, and they outrange us. So we're going to have to play this a little bit more aggressively than I might like. It is also worth noting they have a little bit of ogre cavalry. As you can imagine, a beast that can hold an ogre on its back. It's pretty terrifying. They have some lead belchers here, cannon infantry. They definitely have the range advantage. We will have to approach them, which is not the thing our army is best at. But we'll just have to figure it out. A thing we might be able to do, depending on what these dots in the terrain turn out to be, is we might be able to, like, if they line up their iron blasters here, might be able to start on this side and push forward quickly and just try to use this thing to clip their angle. Gosh, it's scary to ride right up on an ogre army, especially one full of lead belchers. But we have enough blunderbusses that if we do get close, our enemies are mostly not armored. So the blunderbusses will do really good work. Okay, they've got the Iron Blaster all the way forward. So it is not, in fact, going to have its range abbreviated by these rocks at all. And on our side, the break in the terrain's not even cover. It's just a big fucking hole. Same over here. Okay, so there's nothing for it, basically. We're just going to have to approach under punishing cannon fire. Well, alright. It behooves us, I suppose, then, to spread out as best we can. It won't let me like spread around the gap naturally. That's fine. We'll just grab like a couple units on this side. We do have some bull centaurs. Our Kadai have 70 speed. Ugh, this is going to be a nightmare. We are going to bleed badly for this approach. Just try to keep things kind of spread real thin, no grouping up anywhere. Castellan can go with this group, and you can stay real clear of everybody. So we have this Flame and Shadow Bombardment ability now, thanks to the tower. Plus, you know, our own magics and whatnot. Slay the champions of the Maw. I'll say this, I'm glad that we're eliminating a bunch of iron blasters from the final battle, because that could be an annoying problem to deal with while you're trying to focus. And I guess there's nothing for it, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to issue a general approach order to the infantry. They're going to move at the speed they're going to move at, right? We will give the faster moving units separate orders. But basically, like, just keep running at them because we got to get over there. I guess I can give you some orders. I just don't want you to run. You guys can wait. We are going to fly forward with our lord here and try to lay down a little bit of hostile magic. But remember, we got to stay clear of the lead belchers. Actually, what are the stats on this Iron Blaster? 20 melee defense? The way it's separating from their other units, I think the move is going to be, we'll just kill it. I'll just kill their stupid monster. Do we want to throw down like a quick Flames of Asgore in front of something? Just kind of as I'm approaching. It's tough because I don't feel like I have a great grasp of how quickly they're moving. It's a lot of winds of magic to miss, you know? Shooting fireballs at me, but not doing a very good job. Okay, that's catching something. You probably need to stop moving forward entirely, and honestly, you may be too far forward for safety as it is. Let's try to turn the guns on this Mournfang cavalry unit. It rode out way ahead of its allies. Unfortunately, well, I was gonna say that little bump in the ground is gonna be tricky for ranging, but maybe it's not so bad. You are kind of off by yourself, and I don't know what to do with you. It looks to me like this side is going to be a pretty reasonable approach. I'm actually just going to command these two units to run really deep right now. We're going to take our potion of speed. Let's get in here and fuck this thing up and then get out. And on this side, all they have is like tiny goblin infantry units. So even if they wanted to turn and defend themselves, they can't really. Damage up. Kill, kill, kill. Yeah, get him. Don't move. Shoot. Don't move. Fire. I'm going to reroute a couple of units here. All right, try to catch them. Wow. The Mournfang cavalry on this side, I think, charged our Iron Demon and paid for it badly. We probably need to form a little bit of an infantry position here and have the Iron Demon fall back. Y'all can change it up. I mean, burning down their lord probably makes a lot of sense. He's a Slaughtermaster, which means he's a type of wizard. He's given himself some missile resistance for the moment. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have them form up. Let's just... Where's like some local high ground? I guess, honestly, you're in an okay spot already. We'll move you over very slightly. Yeah, you two are taking that on. And I'm going to try to like spread out and get ready to receive the charge. Unfortunately, it's always a nightmare. It's not really a lot you can do to make an ogre charge like reasonable for a unit of Chaos Dwarves. It's just they're going to do it and it's going to hurt a ton. Okay. These units, I'm going to bend this path a little bit. What I really want to do is try to grab the lead belchers, as many of the lead belchers as I can with these fast moving units, because while lead belchers are still ogres, you can see here 26 melee attack, 26 melee defense. They can't really defend themselves up close. And so we want to just sweep in and hit them from behind in as many different ways as possible. Once you've sort of got your feet, we're going to start cinder blasting random units. Lord's doing fine work here. Yep, the lead belchers are on to us. Come on, just plow through. Get him. All right, wow. So his Warnfang cavalry broke instantly, and I did not have this unit of blunderbusses in guard mode. I am really surprised at how quickly that turned. Gosh, the situation evolved so quickly while we were not paying attention. Holy hell. Y'all, gun down that wizard. They ran their wizard through their lines. I guess it's a 48 attack wizard. This is not like the craziest thing to do. They've set my Iron Demon on fire. Very strange play. So this thing's broken. We definitely want to have Drazoth come out and start doing some damage elsewhere. Probably we just want to run these things. But like you can see, my melee units have already taken like very serious damage. It might be for the best to have Drazoth actually break this up a little bit. Try to keep a better eye on the amount of damage that's happening here. Alright, enemy lord wounded out. Switch to that wizard. Very functional magic there. Sorry, I still have you selected. Yeah, this is a problem with ogre armies. They have serious leadership issues. Beasts stir inside the maw, do they? Okay, that's great. Alright, one problem at a time. You guys getting distracted. I want melee mode. I didn't even realize they have throwing axes. That's cool, but I need you to body charge these lead belchers. You guys go attack the other iron blaster. I am really, really, really not worried about the Noblars. So I guess let's get these 3 troops. I'm going to send this 1 unit of hobgoblins off to try to keep that iron blaster from recovering. Y'all kind of just need to get over here. We need to prepare to receive enemies. Yeah, this actually turned around really fast. Their lord dying and the units that were backing them up being suddenly completely destroyed by magic really did a number on their overall leadership. All right, friends, turn and fire. We got monsters. So this is a massive Stonehorn beast. I shouldn't have to explain why that's a problem. They also have some Gorgers coming out. It looks like some crummy Noblar units, just cannon fodder. And generally speaking, we need to get bodies realigned for the combat over here. So y'all are moving. You are badly enough wounded that I was considering maybe we should just have them run, but it's fine. These 2 units can finish this off, hopefully. We're also working on that guy. This plan is working. Our Iron Demon is not able to defend itself, it seems like. You know what? Turn around and kill this thing. I'm just going to have the Iron Demon disengage. The moment the shot was clear, even a little bit clear. All right, get up here, get up here. It does seem like our Lord is going to personally receive the Stonehorn, which is probably bad. You should also get over here. You know, honestly, we have our barrier up and everything. I'm not that scared. How far away does this fire? Not very far. Let's just throw this down in the path of the incoming.
Surround them!
Trying to get off the ground before that thing fully arrives. All right, whatever. It's fine. Okay, we have an awful lot of saber tusks. I like the way that these iron demons, they have like a little bit of combat skill and they have the collision attacks. So stuff like charging into them doesn't immediately shatter them. That Stonehorn is getting pretty close to breaking up. I want to make sure that these saber tusk packs are receiving a little bit of attention. It doesn't have to be much. Yep, this thing thinks it's going to come back into the fight. That's exactly why I wanted to send some hobgoblins after it. Just try to keep it from really reforming. Do I have somebody that I want to put on making sure these lead belchers stay dead? Yeah, I guess this is a thing that the centaurs can do. You guys can keep working that iron blaster for a minute. Alright, the great news is the enemies are kind of gathering up here. Did I put this in overcast mode already? I did. I think I'm just going to throw this down, and good luck, Infernal Guard. Try to back up if you can. Because, like, look at that. Look at the raw damage pouring out of the ground there. The Iron Demons are doing wonderful work. Yeah, this is under control. That was a lot of additional enemies, but it is under control. Is anything over here? Nope. Everything over there is permanently broken. Okay, I appreciate your fervor, but maybe fall back into the formation a little bit. Oh, no, I am not. Okay, apparently I was waiting for another wave. I was ready for another wave. They're calling that a close victory, but honestly, at that point, especially the way we were arrayed, I think we could have handled an awful lot of enemies pouring out of the maw there. Yeah, in theory, a much more dangerous battle than a lot that we have fought recently, but I think this army composition is showing. Those hobgoblins are bad. We got to replace those with a real unit, but aside from that, this army is showing the value of the composition. I might want to replace them. We have 6 regular infantry. We have a bunch of gunners who can kind of fight. I might want to replace those hobgoblins with, like, more cavalry type units. Or destroyers. Kadai destroyers would be fun. Yeah, Drazoth has a lot of reason to get more Kadai into his army. Alright, definitely just take as many bodies as you can. I don't think... Well, that's a lot of money compared to not a lot of bodies. Alright, I'll take the money. And also, the Ancestor Relic of Valaya. To the victors the spoils. The healing salve of Valaya is now under our control. A powerful artifact that Dowie will despair to see in our possession. If we wanted to twist the knife a little further, we could parade the relic through Jar Nagrund, a shining symbol of our superiority. However, if corrupted by our demon smiths and used to power the great drill, the blood of Ashut would be ever nearer our grasp. I think I like putting this in the drill. Yeah, all armies immune to all kinds of attrition is pretty neat. More control. Don't have to worry about those guys showing up in the final battle. What does this do otherwise? I mean, that's not nothing. That is a powerful item for sure. But yeah, plug it into the drill. +1 unit capacity for destroyers. What a moment. There is a certain satisfaction to having the healing salve of Valaya so utterly tainted by demonic corruption. Imbued with the forces of chaos and attached to the great drill, its power is undeniable. Soon it will reach down into molten rock and bring back the potent blood of Ashut. We are going to need a moment to recover from that one. That was pretty serious. This will help. We cannot heal in ogre territory because these ogres are not, they're not like allied with us or anything. So we do need to get back to friendly zone. Yeah, I guess immune to psychology for all of our infernal units. We actually have some of those now.
Victras! Stroll! Move him!
All right, and hopefully after this, we won't need to be in ogre territory anymore for the rest of the game. So it won't matter if they get tired of us. All right, you got to fight greenskins. Who remain? Oh, this is this is their last settlement. Well, then your job is extremely straightforward. What makes more sense? March mode or underway? It's the underway. Yeah, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you're going to be able to recruit enough of a defensive force there this turn. All right, so we have a huge amount of gold all of a sudden. Let's get our marble quarry set up. Did we have we have some labor here. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and rush the construction on this because I want it done. Oh, right. Also, this is happening.
A second relic bound with a demon to power the furnaces of the colossal drill. Yet, unknown to the demon smiths, the hidden runes of the artifact pull the beards of dwarves hundreds of leagues away.
Okay, so we have incoming, probably.
Word spreads across the Karaz Angkor on its way to Everpeak. One clan, eager to enact vengeance, musters its warriors.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll have to. So what do I want to do in this region? Now that we've got that up, I mean, I probably want to actually, first of all, get the other strip mine established, right? And then, I mean, obviously, upgrading the tower here is even more important than it was. So I don't want to do anything that's going to require raw materials. But we can definitely throw some upgrades into these mine shafts. This is also a gold upgrade? This too? I don't have a good sense of like what 10 extra units of trade good translates to in terms of gold per turn, given our current set of trade agreements. But I guess we'll take this. It's really hard to say whether it's better or worse than locked stores. All right, so we've done actually a very good job of conquering basically the entire Mountains of Morn in like 2 episodes worth of effort. Grimgor was distracted. I think we caught him while he was locally weak. Where are we headed next? So we're not that far from the Lesser Ancestor Relic of Smednir, which we were reading about, that great hammer, which I think we definitely want to take and use on our, what's his name? Baruch's army. And then over here, Demons of the Sunken Sewers. So where exactly is this? Oh, okay, it's by the settlement called the Sunken Sewers. I suppose that makes sense. So yeah, right in the, actually not even in the middle, sort of at the western edge of Nurgle territory. And again, this is the thing we're going to want to do with our main army, because obviously having Drazoth's personal power helps to get through these difficult quest battles a lot. So it's going to be a lot of running. But let's let tomorrow's worries be tomorrow's worries, and just be happy for all of the horrible, horrible, truly monstrous things we've accomplished here today. That's going to be it for us for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. When you return next time, Drazoth has a long, long stroll ahead of him, and we're going to have to figure out something to do with this other army. Once Grimgore's down, we got all these hammers and no nails left. You know, I'm seeing some interesting stuff over here. Things to consider for the future. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.